Well, it is a very beautiful evening, and of course, it is such a great pleasure to know that you are watching us here on Flourishing Hub. Well, Flourishing Hub is centered on inspiring, educating, and encouraging the youth to be world-class leaders. Well, this is based on four pillars. Number one is money. We want our young people to know the principles of money. How do we make money? How do we save it? Or even how do we invest it? And number two is daring. Here, we help you in identifying and exploiting opportunities which could become world-class opportunities, world-class businesses, and yes, mentors, which is very, very important for you to flourish. You need someone who is experienced, someone who has gone ahead of you to guide you through. And then we have what we call strategy. Now, strategy is you having a plan for your life, because in life, if you don't have a plan, definitely you are going to walk by other people's plans. Now, today we have a very, very interesting guest, an amazing guest in studio for us as we talk about flourishing during the holidays. We have Mrs. Agaba Monica. Who is she? She is a teacher at Mango Secondary School. And now when we talk about Mango S.S is actually one of the silent and yet very good and the best schools here in Uganda. She is the vision bearer of Kihembe Community Vocational School in Kanungu district, and she is a counselor, very passionate when it comes to the well-being of our youth. What do you think should be doing here? Definitely encouraging us and motivating our young people on how to flourish during the holidays. My name is Daphne Karangi Kangave, your host. I'll be taking you through today's Flourishing Hub. How are you, man of God?
Good.
Well, it is so good to have you, and this is not actually the first time that you have come here.
Yeah.
And it's always a blessing because you have so much inspirational talk and too much, experience when it comes to encouraging and empowering the youth. I want you to say hello to our viewers and tell us more about yourself.
Hello, viewers. I'm thankful to God today for this day and being here on this show. And Daphne,
yes,
I'm so happy to meet you for the first time physically. I've been meeting you on air.
Oh,
I'm
you watched the show.
Agaba,
Wow,
Mrs. Monica Agaba, a teacher at Mango S.S.
Yes.
To put it right, it is Mango Senior School. We are proud to say Mango Senior School,
yes,
and not Mango S.S.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, that is really, really good to know. And now, Mrs. Agaba, when it comes to the last time you came here, you were at Chinchizi High School. And now we hear that you are in Mango Senior Secondary School. Where did you come to Mango?
Thank you, Daphne.
Yes.
As a teacher is a countrywide program. And so as a teacher, I make an oath to serve in the whole country.
Okay, so you keep traveling regions.
In Chinchizi High School and then was transferred to Mango, but majorly because of family. My husband got a job in the province as the director, HCT, Household and Community Transformation. And as you know, he had to be near his family, near his wife. And luck had it that I found myself in Mango.
Yes.
And Mango welcomed me officially on 5th of the beginning of this term.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That is when I was welcomed in Mango.
Yeah, it must be really good for you to be back with your family, with your husband. How is Reverend, by the way?
Reverend Agaba Andrew is very fine. I have his full authority to be here. And he has really blessed me, and he is also tuning in. right now.
Wow, that
He
is really
sends you
good to
his
know.
greetings.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend, and thank you for watching. Well, we understand that you are a registered mentor for the young and flourishing, where you continually motivate and encourage young people in how to take charge of their lives. And recently, actually, our children got holidays, and very many are out there wondering what they can do with their lives. How would you advise them to utilize this time while they're at home?
Thank you very much, Daphne.
Yes.
I hope your parents have encouraged the youth to listen in, because this is majorly their program. Much as parents, we need to be around them to listen in together.
Yes.
As holiday makers out there, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude for you for having completed the term very well, comfortably and safely. The senior folks out there for having completed your exams, we thank God for you. And you're back home now for the longest time in your life, the holiday of more than 2 months. And so as the Flourishing Hub, we really love you to flourish. We need you to flourish. We need you to experience what the livelihood of being a youth positively can really be. And like Daphne said, we are looking at money, daring, mentorship, strategy, what plan you have for your life. And the plan is starting right now in your vacation, right now in your holiday. Actually, we still go on, even to those who are, even the teenagers, even those who are not yet teenagers. Please encourage them to listen in. And so, as people who are mentoring, who want to really wish to mentor you, we are requesting you that you always listen to our programs. And as Youth and Flourishing Hub, we are conducting an online sessions for mentorship, online sessions for guidance and counseling, and we encourage the parents to chip in, make sure that they register with us. And it is not about money this time. As long as you're willing, we have your phone number, and then we put you on our forum, and then we have online counseling sessions where your children can listen in and be able to be guided more.
Oh, wow. That is really, really beautiful. And I think we shall get into that later. But now when we talk about holiday makers, there is no way we can talk about the children without talking about parents, because they are back home and they are with their parents. So definitely there is a role that the parents ought to be playing. And this starts with the parent and child relationship. Can we first go there before we get into the children?
Thank you very much, Daphne. You have really brought me to my passionate topic, the relationship between the parents and children. When God creates the world, he creates Adam and Eve.
Yes.
And gives them the authority to co-create. And through co-creation, we have our children. And so as parents, we love our children very much and we wish them the best. I have a question that is going to the parents out there as we introduce this topic. Which parent doesn't love her child? No one. Which parent? All of us, we wake up very early in the dark. We come back home very late. We work very hard. But all that we are struggling for are for the sakes of our children. We say we are building a future for them. But here is the longest holiday. As a parent, how are you building your child's future? Do you really have her in your mind and in your heart? Actually, do you have a relationship with your child? Does the child look at you as a parent or as a stranger? Does your child have any connection with you? All the time you haven't been home. When you come back home, what do you do that shows that you have a relationship with your own daughter? You have a relationship with your own son? That is a question for you, the parent out there. We work very hard. We aim at achieving the best for our children.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we are losing our children. Instead of securing their future, we are killing their future indirectly because they don't know us and we don't know them. We are not there in our lives. We are too busy to recognize what they go through as children. And so, as this holiday comes in, can we as parents sit down and recollect ourselves? Think of how we can come into our children's lives. Let us be the first mentors for these children. Let us be the first counselors for them. Before they run out there for a stranger, let them know that they can confide in you.
Yes.
Let them know that they don't fear you too much to tell you what their problems are. Confide in them. Ask them what plans they have. These children are also created with a mind of their own. You realize that me as a teacher of English, my child can become a doctor.
Yes.
So that means she's created differently from me, even when I am the one who gave birth to her. So let me take time as a mother to listen to this child. Ask her what she thinks can best build her in this holiday.
Yes.
Let us not aim at doing everything for them, but let us involve them in the picture as parents, sit them down and have their own opinions in their minds, consider them as part of us and build a stronger relationship that can help them become closer to us and then be able to confide in us. Then the holiday will flourish as we really pray for it to be.
Oh, wow. I am taking notes, and I hope the parents out there are doing the same for themselves. And still on the subject of parents, because I know when we talk about utilizing the time that we have during the holidays, it also comes into keeping our children busy because we have so many activities going on out there. We have human trafficking, and then there is exposure to some material that they shouldn't be doing. And one of the ways that I have come to understand that can keep our children during the holidays is if the parents have a plan on how to keep their kids busy within the home. Is there some advice that you would really throw onto the parents when it comes to engaging their children, even after them getting to know them, building a relationship, but in how to keep them busy and really on their toes?
Yes, thank you very much, Daphne. Like I had said before, as parents, we strive in order to create a future for our children.
Yes.
But do we think about that future that we are creating for them? Like right now, the holiday is very long. As a parent, what is your plan for your children? There are parents whose children have become so soft that everything is done for them, nearly including bathing them.
Oh, wow.
As a parent, you'll come home, you find things undone, and you blame the maid if you have the maid. So as parents, we are calling upon you to take up that responsibility of drawing a plan for your children. Involve your children a lot in the family affairs. Let them take up the family responsibilities. In any case, this is a holiday of 2 months plus. If you want them to learn things they haven't learned, even if you have a maid, send the maid home, pay the maid her money to keep there as you're paying her, but let your children get involved in the daily chores in the household. A child, as a parent, however busy you are, before you go, do you check your child to see whether even the child has laid his or her own bed, or you want even the bed to be laid by the maid or any other person? Avoid these irresponsibilities that we put in our children, thinking we are protecting them, and yet we are killing them. Children, when they become very redundant, that is when the devil also sets in.
Yes.
Can we create for them a timetable for how they are going, different activities, different responsibilities in the families, be it cooking, sweeping, mopping, washing clothes, cleaning their bedrooms, and etc. Let us take it as our responsibility as parents to involve our children. Draw a plan for them. Make sure that they do their work in school while at home. Likewise, doing the work at home. Make sure that you teach them different life skills. However, there are parents who also don't know what we are talking about.
That is true.
The parent also doesn't do anything at home.
Yeah.
All she knows is going to work, come from work,
And
go on her
ordering
phone,
the maid.
and then the day ends, she eats and sleeps.
Oh, wow.
So, dear parents, if you're in that category, you know that in thinking that you're creating a future for your child, you are killing your child. And God will blame you for that. When your child has gone astray, you have yourself to blame. And if you know that you're also that kind of person that does not take interest in house chores, please try to learn. As you learn, help your children also to learn. For example, when we are here in town, we need to make breakfast.
Yes.
You have made breakfast. There are people who like chapatis. They go to buy chapatis from the stores. Really? That is very wrong. Even if I don't know how to make chapatis as a mother, I can really learn.
Yeah,
through
take
internet.
time. Yeah.
Or learn
Take time
through
and learn.
any other ways. And make sure that I help my children also to learn.
Yes.
Actually, the lockdown helped us somehow. People are now making their own chapatis, their own
Mandarzi.
samosas,
Yeah.
and all that to
Yes.
use for breakfast. I encourage you to continue that trend.
Yes.
Whatever you were doing in lockdown, please continue as if we are still living in lockdown.
Yes.
Help your child not to be irresponsible. Help your child to take up every chore in the house.
Yes.
And actually, later we shall come on the saving culture. Help your child also to save. Like we said, in order to flourish, we need money, we need to dare, as we shall look at it later.
Yeah.
We need people to mentor us, and we need to lay strategy.
Yes.
How does a child do that without you as a parent?
Oh, wow. Mrs. Agaba, oh my God, you have beaten so many parents out there. So many. I actually have so many friends who don't even know how to boil tea. It is that bad. You know, sometimes you think it's just putting a kettle into the socket and that's it. Well, not. So, and then you made a very, very important point of COVID, where many people learned to do so many things. I remembered actually that's when I baked my first cake. And if we could continue with this, really, I believe we wouldn't have so many issues. And yes, an idle mind, like you said, is a devil's workshop. So it is very, very important that even as children are there and we're thinking about just going out making money, but we should look at what they are doing when they're home instead of lying on the couch and then watching TV all day or reading novels. It's very important that your child knows how to sweep the compound, knows how to mop the house, because at the end of the day, it is you that shall be ashamed. And yes, for you that doesn't know how to cook, Family TV has got you covered. Every morning we teach you how to cook. So really, this is very, very important. And like you said, very, very important that these children are learning even by us because they observe what you do. We know we're talking about flourishing, we're talking about the holiday utilization. But now I want us to first look into how our holiday makers can flourish even as we come into how the senior four leavers can utilize their holidays.
Thank you so much, Finn. How are you going to flourish?
Yes.
I know that you're listening to us. You are viewing us right there. What is flourishing? Those are the success stories in your life. How do you create a success story? How do you thrive for excellence? How do you try to be excellent in whatever thoughts you have, in whatever actions, and in whatever you say? Like the saying goes, charity begins at home.
It definitely does.
And definitely it is at home where we need to start flourishing, where we need to start being the best versions of ourselves. And so I have a few ideas, about 10, of how we can be able to flourish as the youth, as the teenagers, as children, and even as a parent. You can also copy in.
Yeah.
And so number 1 is practicing gratitude. You child out there, you youth, are you grateful? Are you grateful to your parent? Are you grateful to your society? And then, are you grateful to yourself? I'm requesting you to list down all those things in your life that you're grateful about. We tend to think only about the negative things that happen in our lives, and we forget how God has been very grateful to us.
True.
We do not list down the things. There's a song that says, count your blessings one by one. I love it so much. So youth out there, as we begin this holiday, can you sit down? Maybe have a notebook. If you don't have, ask your parent for one. That is a positive thing. He cannot refuse. Note down those things that you feel you can be grateful about in your life. They may be simple to hard, simple to complex, but write them down one by one and make sure that you count those blessings. Even if you're feeling any form of loneliness in your heart, any helplessness, count. Then number 2,
Yes.
build better social relationships. We have peer pressure around us. No youth has never passed through that. But how do you get out? How do you become prepared? Make sure that you draw or build health social relationships. Your friends around you, let them build you and not destroy you. Let them tell you things that can build your capacity and not push you down to the gutters to show you that for you you're meant to be ungrateful in your life. And number 3, think about the positive experiences and pay attention to positive emotional experience. We all have emotions, and our emotions take the better of us. Maybe you child out there, you're there fighting with your parent, but you're not thinking to the core of the reason why your parent is fighting with you. What are those positive experiences you have with your parent? What are those positive experiences that you have that build your emotional capability? And when you think about that, then you end up becoming very optimistic. You become happy. And you become self-satisfied. You feel satisfaction within you. And that can help you to flourish a lot.
That is true.
Then do random acts of kindness. In this holiday, I encourage you to be kind. Try to be kind. I know the background has affected some of you. Your parents are not kind.
Yeah.
And when your parents are not kind, you also become as arrogant as they are. But remember that we are all created differently.
Yes.
He may be your parent, but he is different from you.
Yeah.
So I urge you to be kind. Do that thing that can connect you to a social purpose and well-being. Help someone in your own way. Touch someone's hand and say it is all going to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Help a sibling. Help that girl that is staying in your family but is not biologically born by your parents, is not biological to you. Help them. Help the needy out there with something small that you can afford. Don't go to what you cannot afford.
Yeah. Work within your means.
And then number 6, be yourself. Try and be yourself. Make sure that yourself. Sometimes we tend to do things for other people.
Yeah.
The dress code, we dress according to how our parents want us to dress. We talk how they want us to talk. But you as a child, you as a youth, you also have your own responsibility to yourself. How do you want the society to view you?
Yes.
As that girl that dresses so poorly? As that boy that dresses poorly?
Yeah.
Please make sure that you aim at meeting your own obligation and not someone else's.
That is true.
What I want for my daughter, she also has what she wants for herself. Let her be herself first, and then I'll come in later as a parent. Then also, as you meet other people's expectations, meet your own expectation and know that you are the future generation. So you should protect your own worth.
Yeah.
You should be yourself. And in that, something similar to that is knowing your worth.
Knowing your worth.
Please know your worth. You all worthy in front of God, in God's eyes. You are worthy in front of your parents. There are some parents who, if a child does wrong, they tend to kill their worth. They kill their self-esteem. You're very stupid. How can you tell your child that the child is stupid? He will now start looking at himself as the stupid person because you as a parent, you have already acknowledged that your child is stupid. I encourage you to know your worth. Know that you are worthy. Look at your competence. Yes. Look at your capability. What is that brings out the better self, your better self? What is that builds on the positive and encourages you to be better, to know your worth, to build your self-esteem? Usually, we aim at things that kill our self-esteem. People may say, I look beautiful, but me, I look ugly. And then the idea of looking ugly clicks in my mind more. So if I don't know my worth, I'll only follow that, and I will end up not flourishing, not becoming successful, not becoming happy, not becoming complete, because I want to walk and feel how someone else wants me to feel.
Which is
not
wrong.
How I want myself to feel. So look at those things you want that can help you improve your self-esteem and your worth. Then set meaningful goals and work towards them. Set meaningful goals. Do not look at yourself as too young to set goals. It is now or never.
Yeah.
Set your own goals about how you want to move in your own future, not the future of your parents. What are those goals? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to become? Usually in primary, there is that song where they used to ask us, what do you want to become in future? And someone would say, I want to be a singer, even when they didn't know what
a conductor.
meant. A conductor, really? What? A teacher, because they saw teachers were the only people in their vicinity. So set your goals, and then this will help you to understand how to go about them, how to take step by step in order to pursue those goals and to become very easy for you. There are some youth out there who are really facing a lot of trauma. They are traumatized.
Yeah.
Number 9, I encourage you to go for therapy. Seek counseling. We have agreed with you parents that you are going to do your best to become the first mentors for your children.
Yes.
But these children fear you. They have problems out there. But for you, look at them, because you give them everything they need, you think they don't have any problem. But they have so many problems. That is why we are seeing risings of suicide missions.
Yes.
We are seeing very many people
Substance
who are recruited
abuse.
in homosexuality.
Yeah.
As a Christian, I speak 100% against homosexuality. I was teaching, we were in a class somewhere, and someone commented, and I didn't like it, said, there is no law in Uganda against homosexuality.
Oh, no.
There is a law against homosexuality because we are trying to protect God's generation. Please seek therapy, seek a counselor, seek counseling. If you fear your parent, have someone you can trust. Have someone you can talk to. You usually watch TV. There are people out there who are willing to help.
That
They
is-
put
yes.
their numbers on the shores. Please record their numbers and talk to them. Make sure that you're helped. Don't let it go too far for you to find yourself regretting all the time. Let those counselors not do not fear that they are going to reprimand you. No, but they are going to walk the journey with you until
yes.
you're a better person. And number 10, believe in yourself. Believe so much in yourself. Have positive expectations. Draw the positive expectations and do not rely on the negative. Let the positive expectations lead you and guide you, and then be optimistic about them.
Oh, yeah.
Be optimistic about your abilities. We are all created with abilities.
Yes.
There are some students I was talking to at the end of the term when they saw their reports, and they were crying out loudly. And they told me that they know that their parents are going to slaughter them,
To kill
when
them.
they get home. That my parent will kill me. He has never understood me. He doesn't know that I'm even capable. I see things failing. When we talked at length, I realized the girl was already going through a lot at home. Most especially, as parents, we need to make sure that we love each other. Because when we love each other, our children become strong and they try to believe in themselves.
Yes.
So we are our own destruction to our children. And the child goes to school, he cannot concentrate,
Yes.
he comes back with a poor report,
And you
want
blame
to
them.
kill the child without finding out from the background what is happening to him or her. But I encourage you to believe in yourselves and make sure that you're creating your own path and not the path of your parent.
Wow. Oh my God. That was really, really beautiful. It was a journey that you are taking us through. And when you spoke about self-worth, I realized actually because of a lot of pressure, many children lose who they are, even from the parents, because there is a certain way they want you to be. Maybe there is a certain way they want you to dress, like I said. They want you to speak or conduct yourself, but even peer pressure from people of the same age. You are forced to do what they're doing because you think it is cool and all that. But know your worth. Create your own worth, what you want to be, because the Bible clearly tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And yes, that other point that you made about the parents being the cause of poor performance in school. Many a time we do not even know what we're doing to our kids as we're speaking negativity to them, even when it comes to their education, telling them you are stupid and all, like you're saying. You create a reality that later manifests in their books. And yes, thank you so much for reminding our parents about that. And even how they deal with each other actually affects the child psychologically. If the mother is not being treated well by the father, or the other way around, because I have seen issues where the mother is giving the father hell at home, and it affects the performance of the child at school. Well, I think in line with reading their books, doing the chores, it is important that they draw goals, like you said, and they should be sustainable, unattainable, things that you can really get to and assess yourself. Well, I am so happy. And when it comes to counseling, yes, our parents are supposed to be our number one, counselors, like you said. If we create that relationship that Mrs. Agaba was saying with our children will be able to trust us, that they don't have to go out and tell someone else what they are going through. And like we started out by saying that the children learn from us as well. So if we as parents set the precedent, the children shall follow through. It is still Flourishing Hub, and we are still discussing on how to flourish during this holiday. For holiday makers, we have Senior 6 holiday makers, we have Senior 4, but even these non-candidate classes are out there, and there are lots of expectations. There is a lot going on, and this discussion is something we cannot shun away from. We shall be talking about Senior 6 leavers when we return, what they can do. Yes, they can borrow most of this because these 10 principles work. They cut across whether you're a candidate or not. But also there is a deeper knowledge and wisdom that you that has left Senior 6 do need, how to deal during these holidays, planning for the future, because you're going to a notch higher. And today we were talking about strategy, which comes with plan. Yes, we ought to plan ahead because we have to be more proactive than reactive. And now, Mrs. Agaba, I want us to get into a very sensitive topic right here, irresponsible sexual behavior. And here, both the parents and the children have a role to play. I have seen so many homes I have visited, and the parents are watching very sensitive stuff with their children, or even they have shunned the topic of sex education with our children, thinking it's embarrassing and all that, and it has had very negative implications. I want you to get us there into the causes and how to avoid them, because we have so many Senior 4 leavers, Senior 6 leavers that may never go back to school after this holiday because of decisions that are going to be made.
Thank you very much, Daphne.
Yes.
That is a very sensitive topic. Our learners, our viewers out there, especially the Form 4 and Form 6 leavers, I want to first congratulate you upon finishing your exams successfully. While you finished, there are some who didn't.
Yes.
And some of these are the reasons why they didn't finish. And those who finished, there are some who are still living in that reverie, in that trauma. He did exams, but he does not feel that he successfully did what he should have done, or what the parents wanted you to do. I'm encouraging you today to leave that aside. The exams are over. Go back now. Do not go back to the season of exams until they come. I remember I lived all my work life thinking about and dreading a certain paper that I loved so much and felt I had done poorly. And every time I slept, I would be thinking about it. And that means it barred me from most of the things I could have achieved.
Yes.
And in the end, I found I had a C3 in that paper.
Wow.
So I don't know how. So I'm encouraging you. If you think you didn't do well somewhere, leave that one aside now. And as you leave that aside, I'm encouraging the parents, do not torment your child about these exams before you even see them. Close that chapter for now.
Yes.
And leave it for your neighbor to do. And so, leaving that aside, our dear viewers, how are we going to prepare for this long holiday? This is a long holiday where you are too independent and your parents are out there at work. Some parents have locked the gates, have even brought out watchdogs to watch you. But they forget, like we had said, that you have a mind of your own. These children are very tricky. They are very intelligent. And some of them are using their intelligence in the evil way. And involving so much in irresponsible sexual behaviors. Youth out there who lied to you that you cannot keep a virgin until marriage. Who told you that sex is part of you. First of all, what is sex? It is created for married people and not you. You need to note that.
Yes.
Besides, that is something you engage in. And the moment maybe the negative side of it comes, then you will never be stable again. You're always thinking about your own pressure. Please avoid things that are going to put you in pressure. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your holiday. And make sure that you become more responsible this holiday by mostly avoiding anything to do with irresponsible sexual behaviors.
Yes.
You have learned about the effects, you have learned about the bad acts and whatever can happen. Please avoid. By avoiding it, you are at a safer side. You're comfortably knowing that you're confident about your own life.
Yes.
And so you are going to trek your life in the most positive way. As holiday makers, some of you are already thinking about the loneliness. I'm very lonely. I don't have what to do. My dear, there is a lot to do.
There is a lot.
Even at home, there is a lot to do. So therefore, you have only a few months to go back to school. Please be patient. Be patient. Like we had said before, you have already set your own goals. Avoid things that are going to distract you from fulfilling your goals. If you want to be a doctor, avoid those things that are going to stop you from becoming a doctor. And one of them is the irresponsible sexual behavior.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as we shall talk about later
Yes.
the boys out there are more free. They have become so free, and the girls are caged at home. But now the boys, the moment they get a chance, this is where now the girls are getting destroyed as well as the boys. So avoid those irresponsible behaviors, not only sexual.
Yes.
There are very many more. Smoking, involving in smoking, involving in peer pressure, involving in all those other things. Can you try and avoid them? Senior 6, you have a long way to go, almost a year.
Oh, yes.
So you can even get jobs. Ask your parents to involve you somewhere.
Yeah.
Get experience. You may not rush and look for money, but look for experience and social capital.
Yes.
Which is very important. In senior 6, you already have a CV. For me, I worked. I may meet someone I taught in my senior 6 VAC. I don't remember. Someone is a very old man and is like, hey, you're my teacher. I'm like, wow. But all that is the experience I got in my Form 6 VAC is still the same experience I've worked with out today. And it has helped me to always emerge out as one of the best teachers according to the children, not according to me. So parents out there, encourage your children to do something. If you cannot afford your child going to look for a job, or you looking for a job for him, involve him practically at home and make sure you pay him for that.
Yes.
Anything a child does at home, can you please make sure that you create a strategy for this child to save some money? The more money they save, the more responsible they become.
That is
There are some children who are given a lot of pocket money, but they don't know that they should also save from their own pocket money. And here you are at home. You're going to spend all this long period at home. And from there, you are going into an open world of the university. How prepared are you, especially in the financial aspect?
Yes.
As a parent, how are you preparing your child in the financial aspect? Help this child to save.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that even if it is sweeping the compound, pay him. And when you pay him, ask for accountability. Make sure you sit him down first and tell him, you are joining university. I need you. By the time you join, you should be having a certain amount of money.
Yes.
And then you can ask me to add on at your budget.
Yes.
And so, slowly by slowly, it is not about even opening an account. If you afford, you can open an account.
You can have a
but
piggy
there are some
bank.
people who have a cage bank, a
Yes.
box, a
Yes.
metallic box where they can drop in coins
Yes.
and money and make sure there is a small hole where you cannot break it.
You
so
cannot
easily.
draw it out.
You cannot just, so you keep saving there,
Yes.
but without the intention of withdrawing your
Yes.
own saving. And at the end of it all, you will show your parent that I have this and this much money. And so I need you to plan it for me as I'm going to the university. That means you are going even to earn your parents' respect and definitely trust.
Trust,
they are going to
which
trust
is very
in
important.
You, and you yourself, you are also going to trust in yourself. And that will be the beginning of the beautiful end for you. You'll be very responsible. If you're a girl, for example, and you're saving, you will not now go to the university and start being encouraged by peer pressure to go and look for money from men, to go and steal from your parents. It is because you have your own responsibility. You know, in the holiday, I will work and they will pay me. I have a family friend. For them, they make sure that their children work on the farm. If you have a farm out there, can you make sure that you take your children to work there? And as they work, please pay them. Do not deny them their money. That will encourage them. And as you continue to save, then the holiday will end even before you know it.
Well, that is so beautiful, and for sure I have seen it work even in my house. My children are actually non-candidates, but every time you tell them that when you work I will pay you, they will look for every work around the house, and then they start to like, I did this, I did that. But of course we draw the line between the work which is done as a child in a home and then the work that you are doing to be paid for. I want us to get into the boy child, like you had said earlier, hinted on a little bit. We are in the 16 days of activism that is against gender-based violence. And a lot of people have come out to say, you care about the woman, but you're not caring about the boy because he is supposed to be the head. Definitely, if you don't deal with the head, then the body is in trouble. So, during the holidays, we know still we are going to be looking at our girls. Who is she talking to? But then the boys who are talking to them, no one is looking at them. You're going to tell you are going to play football and you let them out. I want you to touch a little bit about the boy child right there.
Thank you very much for bringing me closer to this topic as we are in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. We may not look deeply into what causes gender-based violence.
Yes, Lord.
But not realizing the roles of the girl child and the boy child in the family itself is maturing into gender-based violence. And we look at the girl, we concentrate on the girl child. We make sure the girl, all the house chores, we think they should be done by the girl. We think that the girl is not safe out there, which is true. We are more vulnerable. But now we are forgetting that these days are so bad that even the boy child has become more and more vulnerable. The boy child is being enticed in different ways. If it is sexual harassment, they are also being harassed. Even within the close of our eyes as parents, our boys, our girls are being harassed sexually. They are being lured into homosexuality and all that. But where does it begin from? How have we neglected the boy child? Look into your own home. What the girl does, is it what the boy does?
Definitely.
Or you think that because of gender, the boy is meant to sit and wait for the food to be served just like a man. And then you continue training this boy so poorly that in the end, he does not know how to handle his wife. As women, we are created to support and submit.
Helpers. Yes.
But we are ending up being the breadwinners in the family. Why? Because we are not training the boy child right from the beginning.
To take his position.
Can we train this boy child right from the beginning? So that whatever a girl does, he can also do it. We encourage the girl and say, whatever a boy does, you as a girl, you can do it.
Yes.
But whatever a girl does, even the boy can do it.
Mm.
There are so many jobs out there, creative skills. Mm. If you find a boy who is a caterer, if you find a boy who is like, who has studied home economics, he is always performing better even in hotels, and yet we consider that as a girl child
even
job.
in saloons.
Even
in saloons, we prefer the
even
guys because they do
plating,
better.
The boys are doing it even better
Yes.
today. So as parents, can we go back to the drawing board and make sure that we also fight for the boy child and his well-being by starting from home and encouraging this boy to do chores that a girl can do, to respect a woman and to respect himself as a man.
Wow, that is really good. We would have a lot to talk on it, but time really is our friend. Now I want us to rush into the programs that we have as Young and Flourishing for our holiday makers. Earlier you hinted on online sessions, and then you talked about that is for mentorship and then counseling. If only you could tell our viewers how they can get to these before we close.
Thank you very much, Daphne. We post even here on Family TV our online sessions, even the YouTube channels, etc. But maybe if you allow me, I can read out my WhatsApp number,
please,
so that those that can contact me privately, we can include them on our Flourishing Hub program, and then they can always listen to those online sessions.
Please go ahead.
0778 772 327 0778 772 327. There, if you call, we can guide you in any way, and we can help out to your children. Then also, we have outreaches that we are programming.
Yes.
And we shall be reaching out to them, but we would want their phone contacts and maybe their address, so that we know where to commute, where to emerge, and then we can talk to them group by group.
Wow.
But usually, that is even that even depends on the will of parents. Some parents are not very comfortable with sending their children out there. So when we start with online sessions, then through that we can also continue with outreaches. And when they are back to school, we have programs for schools. We are recruiting a Young and Flourishing club in schools. In Kihembe, I had already started it, and the Young and Flourishing Club is very active in Kihembe Community Vocational Secondary School, and where it involves voluntarily in the activities of the school, especially in the Go Green campaign. The Go Green campaign are creating trees, talking compounds. They do it very willingly as a club, and through that there's a lot that they learn. Then we meet them in those schools for mentorship and all that. And so we are diversifying this in very many other schools here in Kampala and outside Kampala.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Agaba. It has been a very, very beautiful journey. Oh my God, we've been talking about flourishing during the holidays. If you have missed it, you have to look it up. Yes, and you shall find it on YouTube, definitely. But from us today on Flourishing Hub, we are going to say good night. It is such an honor, such a pleasure to have you, woman of God, but also to have you, our viewers. Thank you so much for keeping with us here on Family TV. We love you so much, and good night.